Hi everyone, and welcome back to the channel. The production of the US penny finally coming to an end. We've heard whispers about it for years, but now it's official. The US Treasury Department has just confirmed it. Production of the 1-cent coin is being phased out, and it could end as soon as this year. That's right, the US Mint has placed its final order for penny blanks, and once those run out, the presses will stop. Why? It all comes down to cost. It now costs more than 3.6 cents to mint a single penny. Think about that, spending over 3 cents just to make one. According to the Treasury, that's an annual loss of $56 million just to keep the penny in circulation. Even former President Donald Trump backed the move, saying it makes no financial sense to keep producing them. Now, this change doesn't mean pennies will vanish overnight. They'll still be legal tender. But with no new ones entering circulation, they'll become scarcer over time. And that's big news for collectors like US.so. What's happening in the market? Pennies are already going up in value. On eBay, boxes of 2025 pennies that once sold for face value are now listed for $360 to $650, and sometimes even more. Individual penny rolls are being resold for $15 each, a huge markup from just $0.50. But here's a little-known fact. You can still get penny boxes from your bank for face value, $25 a box. Sure, they may not be 2025 dated, but that doesn't matter if you're hunting for errors, varieties, or copper-rich coins, because once production stops, the hunt begins. People will search more than ever before. Error coins, transitional strikes, copper varieties, all of these could skyrocket in value in the coming years. And yes, people are already thinking ahead. Some are hoping for the day when it becomes legal to melt down pennies for their metal content, especially pre-1982 copper coins. Those contain 95% copper, and their melt value can exceed their face value. But remember, melting pennies or nickels is illegal in the US for now. So hold on to those copper coins, because if laws change, they could be worth much more than 1 cent. I actually tried to get a box of pennies from my bank just yesterday, but they didn't have any. They promised to order one for me next week, and I'll be back there the moment it arrives. Will you be getting a box of pennies before they're gone? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your plans. If this video helped you, or if you learned something new, please give it a like, share it with a fellow collector, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss more updates like this. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Imagine this, you're going through an old jar of coins. One penny catches your eye. It's not silver like the other 1943 pennies you've seen. It's copper. Brown, old-looking. You think it's nothing, but it's everything. That 1 cent could be worth over $1 million. Yes, a single penny. More valuable than a luxury car, more than most people make in a decade. This is the mysterious and legendary 1943 bronze wheat penny. Let's go back to the year 1943. World War II is raging, and the US Mint is under pressure. Copper is desperately needed for wartime supplies, ammunition, wires, and communication equipment. To save metal, the government makes a bold move. They stop minting copper pennies and begin producing coins made of zinc-coated steel. Over 1 billion of these steel pennies are made in 1943. They're shiny, silver-colored, and magnetic. That's what most people know. But not all coins followed the rules. In a twist of fate, perhaps a few leftover copper planchets from the previous year were accidentally used. And suddenly, a handful of 1943 pennies were struck in bronze. These weren't supposed to exist, but they did. And today, they're worth a fortune. No one knows exactly how many were made. Experts estimate fewer than 20 exist. These are true unicorns of the coin world. And they didn't show up right away. They were discovered slowly, over decades. One here, another there. The most famous one was found by a teenage boy named Don Lutz Jr. He discovered it in his pocket change at school. A copper 1943 penny. He held onto it for decades. And eventually, it sold at auction for over $200,000. Another example, the 1943 D bronze penny, is the only one known from the Denver Mint. It sold in 2010 for an unbelievable $1.70 million. Let that number sink in. A penny, worth $1.70 million, and even other examples, if authenticated and well preserved, can fetch between $250,000 and $840,000. So how can you tell if you've found one? First, check the date. It must say 1943. Next, look at the color. Real 1943 pennies were silver colored, made of steel. But if yours is copper or bronze in color, that's the first sign. Then, do the magnet test. Grab a household magnet. If the penny sticks to it, it's steel, not bronze. But if it doesn't stick, you might be onto something. The next test is weight. A steel penny weighs around 2.7 grams, but a bronze penny weighs about 3.11 grams. That tiny difference could mean hundreds of thousands of dollars. And don't forget the mint mark. If there's no mint mark under the date, it came from Philadelphia. If there's a D, it's from Denver. An S means San Francisco. Each mint produced billions of steel cents, but only a rare mistake would have caused a bronze one to slip through. Of all the varieties, the 1943 D bronze penny is the rarest. Only one is confirmed to exist. And yes, that's the one worth $1.70 million. But even a no-mint marked 1943 bronze cent can still change your life. Here's a key tip. Never clean the coin. Cleaning can damage its surface and destroy its value. If you think you've found one, send it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll authenticate it and certify its condition. Need this coin? Then this is the one. The 1943 bronze wheat penny, created by mistake, born in wartime, and hunted for decades, is the ultimate collector's prize. So check your change. Look through those old jars. Go to estate sales, garage sales, even family collections. Because the next person to find one might be you, and that 1 cent could become your first million.